Your dreams are warning you every night, and ignoring them is secretly damaging your psychological health. In this video, you'll discover exactly what your dreams are warning you about. And by the end, you'll never ignore a dream again. Over the course of his psychoanalytic career, Carl Jung analyzed more than 80,000 dreams. This unique vantage point gave him unparalleled insights into the inner workings of the psyche. It became obvious to him that dreams have a fundamental psychological role. They're compensatory messages from the unconscious mind, alerting us to blind spots in our conscious thinking. Dreams are so important, in fact, that he even went on to declare in his book, Modern Man, In Search of a Soul, that the dream is a little hidden door in the innermost and most secret recesses of the soul. What happens when you push your dreams aside? At first it seems harmless. You wake up, shake off the images, and go about your day as if nothing happened. But Jung observed the same pattern unfold over and over. Small signals in our dreams turning into persistent, life-altering symptoms. Jung realized that dismissing dreams inevitably leads to what he called psychological inflation. This happens when our conscious mind overestimates its control, mistakenly assuming it represents the entirety of the psyche, while unacknowledged material piles up in the unconscious. The mind becomes one-sided, relying too heavily on a single way of being. Even when consciousness ignores the unconscious, its influence remains very real. Jung's warning was direct. When we neglect the unconscious, we risk being possessed by it. Possession here means your unexamined unconscious material begins taking control of you. Subtle at first, then unmistakable, emerging as a feeling of unexplainable anxiety. The earliest, most reliable alert system for unconscious possession is your dreams. Let's illustrate this with an actual case Jung describes in Man and His Symbols. One patient, a woman, kept dreaming that a snake was under her bed. Each time, she woke in a rush of anxiety. At first, she thought it was simply a nightmare and tried to ignore it, but the dream returned night after night. By working through the dream with the patient, it became clear that the snake was a symbol of her shadow, this alien and frightening presence lurking under her bed, a symbol of safety, comfort, and intimacy, underscored the tension between her shadow and her conscious self. The snake symbolized the deep-seated instinctual and emotional energy she'd been avoiding in her waking life. From this case, Jung observed a key psychological principle. What is repressed returns in symbolic form, with stronger intensity each time. The danger wasn't the snake itself. It was the silence around what it represented. When this was finally addressed in therapy, when she explored what the snake meant for her life, the nightmares lessened. More importantly, she found greater emotional balance, less anxiety, and more comfort with authentic expression. The snake under her bed wasn't a threat to be feared, but a signal from the unconscious to be recognized. Everyone dreams, yet few translate the nightly messages we receive. We dream for roughly 2 hours each night, about 6 years across a lifespan. That's 6 years of messages you can either decode or discard. If you ignore them, the psyche will stop whispering and start insisting. The signals move from night into day until they are impossible to ignore. Dreams are the mind's natural mechanism for maintaining balance and psychological health. Jung understood that the human psyche operates like a self-regulating organism. Just as the body corrects physical imbalances when they arise, the psyche works to maintain a balance between conscious awareness and the hidden forces of the unconscious. When consciousness becomes rigid, one-sided, or overly dominant, the unconscious responds by generating dreams that compensate for these imbalances. This compensatory function ensures that the total personality, what Jung called the self, remains in equilibrium. For instance, an overly rational or logical person may dream of wild, emotional scenarios or encounter symbols of instinct and spontaneity. A highly moralistic or perfectionist individual may dream of impulses, transgressions, or chaotic behavior. These dreams signal the gap between conscious identity and the broader psyche, alerting the person to what must be acknowledged. In this way, dreams operate like an internal balancing system. They are proactive, not reactive. They anticipate imbalances before they manifest in daily life. Ignoring these warnings allows subtle problems to accumulate, eventually erupting as mental crises. The unconscious communicates through symbols, images that condense complex psychological realities into visual, emotional, and narrative forms. The word symbol comes from the Greek symbolin, meaning to throw together, reflecting its function of uniting opposites, the known and the unknown, consciousness and unconsciousness. Symbols are what Jung calls multivalent, meaning that they operate on multiple levels. On a personal level, they reflect the dreamer's unique experiences and emotional associations. On a broader, archetypal level, they draw from universal patterns embedded in the collective unconscious, recurring across myths, religious traditions, and art throughout human history. Through these symbols, the unconscious conveys what the conscious mind cannot yet grasp, providing guidance, warnings, and insight in a language that is simultaneously deeply personal and universally resonant. Let's take the example of the rearview mirror. What you see in front of you as you drive is like your conscious awareness. Everything you notice, plan for, and feel in control of. What you don't see behind you, however, is comparable to your unconscious. It's out of sight, yet still very much present, capable of influencing your direction. Ignoring it might seem harmless at first, but it puts both yourself and others at risk. Dreams serve as reflective rearview mirrors for the psyche, showing what consciousness cannot perceive on its own. Every dream reveals where conscious life is incomplete, where energy is blocked, and where growth is possible. Dreams are essential communication from the unconscious, providing insights and guidance that cannot be replaced by rational thought alone. But how can we understand them? Jung's solution: dream analysis. Dream analysis is the method Jung developed to engage with the messages sent by the unconscious. It is a deliberate psychological practice that allows you to bring the insights of the unconscious into conscious life. Just as dreams act as a rear-view mirror for your psyche, showing what you cannot see directly, dream analysis is the act of looking carefully into that mirror, understanding what the images reveal, and applying that insight to your daily life. Dream analysis follows a structured process. Before anything else, it's important to have a dedicated space for your dreams, a physical notebook or digital journal where they can live and evolve over time. Dream analysis is a lifelong practice, and keeping your dreams together in one place allows you to return to past entries and continuously uncover new insights. This simple act of giving your dreams a home also signals to your psyche that you are committed to listening. If you do not yet have a home for your dreams, no worries. We've created the Mirror app for you. Mirror's intelligent interface gives you everything you need to capture your dreams in detail, spot patterns, and uncover what your unconscious is trying to express. With Mirror, you can also perform fully personalized AI-powered interpretations, revealing what your dreams truly mean and enhancing the dream analysis process we're about to explore. Get Mirror using the link in the description. The first step of dream analysis is to write down everything you can remember from your dream immediately upon waking: images, sensations, even fragments or single words. Don't worry about coherence or interpretation at this stage. Just capture it as fully as you can. The act of recording strengthens recall and sharpens your sensitivity to the unconscious, as even small details may carry significant meaning. Over time, your ability to remember dreams improves, and the material becomes richer, more nuanced, and easier to interpret. Once you've described your dream in detail, focus on the emotional atmosphere of the dream. How did it make you feel? Whether it's anxiety, relief, fascination, or confusion, the feeling points directly to what the unconscious is trying to emphasize. Noticing the emotions at play also provides the necessary context to understand the symbols of the dream. A symbol of water, for instance, carries a very different meaning if it evokes dread rather than calm. Once the emotional tone is clear, turn your attention to the symbols themselves. The key images, figures, or scenes that stood out most vividly. Ask yourself, why this setting, this character, this moment? The characters of the dream personify aspects of your own psyche and reveal how you relate to others, while the landscapes and atmospheres mirror your inner state. By recognizing these symbols and reflecting on how they resonate with your experiences and feelings, the deeper message of the unconscious begins to emerge, offering the foundation for meaningful interpretation and insight. Then, reflect on what this dream means for you personally. Ask what each image evokes in you: memories, emotions, sensations, or situations from your own life. The unconscious speaks through the language of personal experience, so a symbol's meaning depends on how it lives in your own psyche. A dog, for instance, may represent loyalty to one person and fear or aggression to another. Understanding your personal associations to the symbol anchors the dream in your unique lived reality. Only then widen your lens to the collective dimension. Symbols resonate beyond personal life. They draw from the shared source of human experience that Jung called the collective unconscious. Mythic symbols, recurring motifs, or archetypal figures appear across cultures because they express universal psychological truths. Engaging with these broader meanings doesn't replace your personal interpretation. It deepens it, revealing how your unique life experience intersects with the larger human story. The final step is to bring the dream's insights into waking life. With both personal and collective meanings in mind, ask yourself, what does this dream reveal about my behavior, relationships, or patterns of thought? What concrete goal can I set based on this insight? The intention you set might involve adjusting your perspective, expressing a previously repressed part of yourself, or exploring new ways of engaging with the world. By taking conscious action, you complete the compensatory cycle, restore your mind's equilibrium, and open the way for genuine growth. Perhaps The most profound gift of dreams is the invitation to discover who you might become, not just who you are. Each dream gestures toward possibilities, subtle shifts and hidden capacities that remain dormant in waking life. By paying attention, reflecting and acting consciously, you participate in an ongoing creation of yourself, a life gradually aligned with the depth of your psyche. What new aspects of yourself are waiting to be awakened tonight? Thank you for watching. You now know how vital your dreams are to your mental well-being. Download Mirror with the link in our description and start giving your dreams the attention they need.